is, how did you know how you was going to respond in a situation that you never endured before? How do you know how you're going to be in a space, in an environment that you were never at before?
Yeah, you are a super mover. A super mover. Ain't met no.
It's so funny. Earlier today, I was thinking to myself, like, I saw this quote about, Lord, please release me from the chains of putting up a peace sign whenever I put up whenever I take a video or a picture. And I swear, I felt that to my core, because, like, I don't know what it is, but one thing about me, I'm gonna put up a peace sign, okay? But anyway, so how you doing? How you feeling? How you living? How's life? Hope everything is great. I wanted to do a quick little, like, chit chat type style video just to talk about some things that I've been thinking about or whatever. So I did want to try something different by coming outside to do this video. I think it's, cool. I think that it's cool to go outside, be one with nature, and just allow the universe, spirit guides, whatever, to channel through you, and so that you can speak more freely, So I am going to be using my phone for the voice recorder so that the sound cannot sound as terrible as it would if I was just speaking into the camera. So I asked for you guys to give some grace, because of course I'm outside, so you're gonna hear these sounds of nature, whether it be cars, whether it be birds, whether it be dogs. Like, I live in Mexico, and one thing about it, you're gonna hear some dogs barking, okay? That's just the nature of the beast. But anyways, y'all like my little, like, scarf dress? Like, I made this, it's literally like a head wrap, and I made it into a little dress. I think it's so cute. I'm gonna do a little tutorial for y'all soon on, making head wraps into head wraps, shirts, dresses, skirts, whatever you want it to be. Like, they're so expensive. I fucking love it, okay? I love it. But anyway, so since I've been here in Mexico, like, one thing for certain is that this place is truly magical. This place will expose you to who you are at your core, like as a person, outside of the luxuries that we don't even realize that we're used to as Americans. And every single day I find myself doing shadow work, honey. Like, I promise you, shit gets real in the Ville every single fucking day. And the thing about it, like, I had to sit with myself and tell myself, like, parent myself and say, hey, don't run the other way. Like, you thought the work that you did was enough. You didn't even know what this experience was going to be like. And I feel like so many of us go through these transitions and find and are exposed to other parts of ourselves and think, like, damn, I healed from that. But truth is, how did you know how you was going to respond in a situation that you never endured before? How do you know how you're going to be in a space, in an environment that you were never at before? How do you know how you're going to show up somewhere when you've never even experienced it? So you got to give yourself grace, because every single day we're figuring this shit out. And I know so many of us have been in a space of transitioning and been in a space of changes and newness, and especially me, because like I said, I just moved to Mexico a couple months ago, and since being here I've been going through so many different changes, and I've been finding myself doing shadow work in areas that I thought I had healed from, or in areas that I thought I had at least already addressed. And the thing about shadow work and the thing about healing is that we got to realize it's not a destination, it's a continuous journey. But I also want to say, realize that you're not a project that needs to be fixed. You're not a project that needs to be figured out. At the end of the day, this is a human experience that is new to all of us. Some of us have lived, some lives before then, but we're in a space of remembering, okay? Because we come into this earth, and a lot of times we forget through time. We forget through experiences. We forget that's just the nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? So you literally have to grab your traumas, grab your triggers, grab the healing that you need to do by the hand and take a walk with it. Don't run the other way. You have to grab it by the hand, be gentle, say, let's go on a walk, let's have a chat, let's talk, let's get an understanding of one another. Let's get to the root of why you're like this. Ask questions until you can no longer ask questions, until you get to the root of what it is that's keeping you stuck, that's keeping you repeating those same cycles over and over and over and over again. And then once you get to that point where you feel like you have no more questions, then send it off with love. Dismiss it with love, from a space of love. Thank it for it serving its purpose. Because the thing about our traumas, the thing about the things that we feel like we need to heal from, is that they served a purpose. The limiting beliefs that we're experiencing, they served a purpose. Like, I think about, I had this conversation with someone recently at this girls' night that I went to, and she was like, I'm giving gratitude to scarcity because of scarcity, I now know abundance. I now cherish abundance. And I'm like, damn, that hit me to the core, because so many times we experience scarcity, we experience lack, and we immediately want to like talk down on it, or we just like, we want to shit on scarcity. But you know, without scarcity, what is abundance? You know what I'm saying? Like, there is light and darkness to everything. That is the duality of life. That is the balance of life. So you have to give thanks to the scarcity, because without that scarcity, how do you even know what abundance is when you see it? How can you fully cherish it and fully indulge in the spirit of abundance without scarcity? And I'm like, damn, I had to look at that. I had to look at my traumas and my limiting beliefs and the things that are keeping me stuck through that same lens. Like, you know what? Instead of running away from you when you purge, I'm going to address you head on and say, hey, why are you like this? Why are you like this? How did we get here? How did we get there? And how did we get there? Okay. I can now gain an understanding for why you show up in these moments, why these triggers make these feelings, make these beliefs purge and show themselves. And now I can say, you know what? I can see why you're like that. And I'm going to say thank you, because now that I know, I can do things differently. And I can send you off with love. And I can send you off with gratitude and thanks, and dismiss you, and, you know, show up differently now and do things differently now. But so many of us run away from the shadow work. And then when we repeat those cycles, we trying to figure out, why is God doing this to us? God isn't doing this to you. The universe isn't doing this to you. Actually, you're doing this to you. Because so many times we repeat the same cycles, they just show up differently. And that's something I had to realize, like, yo, I'm finding myself in spaces that look so familiar. And when I thought that I had evolved from that space, and I had to realize, like, yo, no. Because now you're in a different space and the same thing is coming up. So now we got to address you head on. Now we got to get to the root of this. Clearly you still want to hang out. Clearly you feel like me and you still friends. Clearly you feel like, you know, you and I are one. Even though I thought that I didn't even fuck with you like that no more. But turns out I still fuck with you. Turns out I still got love for you. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when out of sight, out of mind. It's kind of like, for example, if you was dating somebody and y'all stopped talking, and you didn't hear from them or nothing, you didn't reach out to them, you don't see their face nowhere, the next thing you know, they text you, and you like, damn, those feelings start purging again. And you realize, like, damn, I still fuck with this person. I still got love for this person. I still think about this person. You don't know until you know. And when you know, don't run the other way. You got to address it head on. And that's something I've been having to do. And like I said, the thing that's shifting this experience for me is to address it head on. It's to grab it by the hand, be sensual, like be your sensual self. Like, you gotta like seduce the trauma, almost. Like, you gotta seduce the limiting beliefs almost to like get them to do what you want them to do. You want them to go, you gotta talk to them nicely. You know what I'm saying? You gotta talk to me nicely. And so I realized, like, okay, let me grab her by the hand. Let me get to the root of like moment of transparency. So for me, I'm realizing that now that I'm in a space of where I'm having nothing but myself to depend on in every single realm of my being, right? Because at one point, like when I was back in the States, I was working a 9-to-5, and I'm talking about finances, for example. I was working a 9-to-5, and I had my job to depend on when it came to the income that I knew was coming every month on this day, or every week on this day, or whatever. And now that I'm in a space where that is uncertain, and I've been here before. When I got out the Navy, I was working for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had my own businesses. I was making a living for myself and making my own income depending on just solely what I was producing. So this isn't a space that's unfamiliar to me, but it is a space that's unfamiliar to me, being in a new environment, and also solely like having myself, like being in a new space, not knowing anyone, not knowing this environment, like learning this space all over, not even all over again, learning this space from a place of nothing, right? Because I didn't know anything about this space, so this is all new for me. And also healing, and also adjusting and transitioning, and finding that, like, damn, I thought we had already surpassed these limiting beliefs. I thought we had already gotten to the root of what we believed about money and shifted that paradigm so that we didn't have to go through this cycle anymore. But then you find that you're repeating the same shit. And so now I'm like, you know what? We're not going into next year like this anymore. What can we do differently to change this? So, you know, I was journaling and really had to like write myself a letter. I decided to write myself a letter for myself next year and address the difficulties that I'm encountering, and realizing that this shit ain't new to me. You know what I'm saying? I've been here, done this, earned a couple t-shirts. It's just the environment is a little bit different. Like the fucking energy is different. Like all these things are different, but I'm still me, and I have to know myself at the root, at the core of who I am, and not allow these extenuating circumstances to shift my being, to shift the root of who I am. And I think a lot of times we don't realize that things are distractions, and things can also be crutches. In America, and you know, my job and the friends and the people that I had, and the so many different things that were around me were crutches that I was leaning on and depending on for those things that I was going after, those dreams and those things that I had. And now that I'm in the space where I no longer have those crutches, and instead of me running, like, I can easily be like, you know what, like, y'all, I've been getting calls every single day about jobs, and I'm like, no, I can't, because like that would be me falling on the crutch and not addressing the root of what's keeping me stuck, the root of what's keeping me in repeating these cycles, getting to a space of abundance, and then finding that I'm in a space of scarcity all over again. And realizing, like, yo, but we abundant, right? Like, you can say the affirmations all day, but you got to do the work to address those beliefs at the root. We think that it just looks like saying affirmations in the mirror and doing all these things. No, you got to talk to yourself head on and address your shit at the door. Like, take your shoes off at the door, bitch. Sit down in this chair and let's have a conversation. Let's get to the root of it. Let's do the work to change these moments. And like I said, I'm in this space every single day, and I'm like, damn, I thought we were past this, but it turns out clearly we're not. But I'm giving myself grace, because like I said, life is this life is a journey, and every day it's gonna look different. And yes, we're gonna go through these changes and these transitions and find ourselves in new spaces and new faces and all of these different things. But we have to know that, like, give yourself grace, but also hold yourself accountable. And so this is me holding myself accountable and recognizing that I have to address my shit at the door. And like, look, I'm a Pisces, so one thing about us is escapism. That's our best friend, okay? Like, escapism, that's what we do. And I know that about myself. I got 3 placements in Pisces. Like, I'm not new to it, but I'm realizing, like, yo, I'm a Pisces. Like, we are just such spiritual, such abundant, such beautiful, such ethereal, such sensual beings. And I know what I'm capable of. I know my potential. But why haven't I been able to reach that potential? And it's because a lot of times our potential, what we're basing it off of, is what we're seeing around us. You got to go internal and identify what that potential is for yourself. Then you got to address what's keeping you from reaching that full potential, and then you got to create the bridge. And that's the key. What is the bridge that's going to get you from where you are to where you want to be, and how can you cross it to overcome that shit and to not go back, so that when it does come up again, you know the bridge that you can cross to get back to where you want to be. And for me, I'm identifying those bridges every single day. Grateful for that. And I'm also identifying those triggers every single day. So I know it's getting dark now. Hopefully I can adjust the lighting. But when those triggers come up, don't run from them. Write it down. You know what I'm saying? Put it in your phone. Do whatever you need to. And take note of it. And then do some journaling. You know, do some shadow work prompts. And have a conversation with yourself. Or or go to fucking therapy. You know what I'm saying? But do the work. And identify those things and don't run from it. I promise you, running from the shadow work is going to keep you stuck and repeating the same shit over and over again. And you deserve so much more. We deserve so much more. I deserve so much fucking more. Like, oh my gosh, look at this fucking world. It's abundant. Like, it's limitless. It's like, what the fuck? Look at all that water behind me. Like, you want me to believe in scarcity? You want me to believe in lack? Like, I can't have all of this? You gotta identify what's holding you back. Like, for me, for example, I'm supposed to be ending this video right here, but let me just say this. One of the things I had to realize about myself is that I want to be wealthy and fucking rich as fuck, and I know I will be one day. But also, when I look at certain rich people, I almost look down on them. Moment of transparent, I almost look down on them like, you could be doing so much fucking more. Because for me, I'm like, yo, when I'm rich, when I'm wealthy, when I got it like that, these are all the things that I want to do. But then I look at rich people and I look down on them and I shit on them, but that's what I want to be. That is the subconscious belief that's keeping me in a space of fucking lack. The fucking contradiction. But anyways, it's not about me. It really is, though. It's about us. But yeah, so I hope this video, thank you for chatting with me and receiving me and all of my fucking all over the placeness. And at the end of the day, I'm here for me, I'm here for you, I'm here for us, and I'm here as a vessel to shed light on the shit on the journey to success. Not when I get there and then look back and like, this is what I did. I want y'all to see the bridge as it's being created. Ooh, that's good. I'm gonna put that in the caption. Y'all gonna see that real soon. But thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I am DeeVine, your favorite sensual spiritual rap goddess. And if you like this video or others like it, please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.